And here in Texas, I'll just give you two examples of how it's different from New York. I live in a very multicultural neighborhood. I've never had a black person on either side of our home, but I've had Hispanics, Muslims, and one guy who I think was a Hindu. And there's probably about 10% black people in the little subdivision I live in. So in some ways, people would say, that's very much like the 1970s kind of Jim films that you were in the future, people of all colors and races will live together in harmony. In one way, that's true. But in Texas, they will look at that kind of thing. And Texas, with the winter storm, which we talked of, it means everyone, that everyone, yes, and well, now you're all equal, but you're just like N-words or just like Mexicans. And the best example of this, of how backwards Texas is about 12, 15 years ago, that big PDF of my poems that I've sent you and other people, I had made copies of my poems physically, and I found it cheaper to buy a little copier than to make copies of 8,000 pages of whatever that I wanted to copy. It was cheaper to actually just buy the paper and the machine than to go to Office Max or something and copy them there. So I bought this copier. About a month into doing all this copying, it broke down, so I had to bring it to the place where the warranty was. And it was an elderly black guy who was the repairman. This would have been 10, 15, I was 41. This guy's probably pushing retirement, so he's probably 20 plus years older than me. When I went back 2 or 3 days later when it was fixed, I paid, I don't think I had to pay for anything because it was on warranty. And he said, yeah, do this and this, it worked, this is what happened, sorry about it. And, and he was very nice. And, I extended my hand to shake his hand. And the guy looked at me and he's like, it took him about 5 or 10 seconds before he sort of like, to shake my hand. This was 2007, 2008. This is in a suburb of Austin, Texas, the most liberal part of Texas, other than maybe El Paso. And yet here still was a guy living in the 1940s. A white man is just extending his hand in just common courtesy for me doing a good job. And I could see he was, and then when I shook it, he beamed. It was like, it was like he had a weekend away with Halle Berry.
Do you still know